Do you realize it's been 179 days since I shut the schools down? 179 days that our kids have been without their teachers and their supervisors and their principals and all the people that are with them and impacting them in every way. Now, I know we've done great work as parents and grandparents and whatever it may be. I know that. But 179 days that our kids have been out of school. And so today is a really, really important day. Now, we want to continue to push to keep everyone just as safe as we possibly can. But our kids need to go to school. And I can't thank our teachers and service personnel and all those that are making this happen, from our superintendents, principals, all the people, state board, state office, everybody that's making this a reality and everything. And I'll let our superintendent talk with you about that. On Saturday, we went over the coding of, the color coding of these counties like crazy. I was on the call myself. You had a multitude of people on the call. All the panel was on the call. All the panel was weighing in. And I'm talking about there was probably a dozen or more people that are on the panel that were all weighing in and giving their opinion on certain things. We did tweak one thing. We moved Monroe County from the red into the orange, and we did that because we felt like that Monroe County was trending in the right way, and so much emphasis was put on the nursing home facilities there, and so we moved Monroe County into the orange. We're very, very hopeful that Monroe County is going to get in the yellow and then back in the green. So again, like I said, I'm going to let our Superintendent Burch talk to you more about that in just one second. How about this? We as of today, we have up and running 848 of our Kids Connect sites throughout the state. Remember, we're going to have 1,000, and we're still trying to push that right across the finish line right now. I want to take time to send out a special thanks to the Office of Technology and the Department of Ed, because these people work right through the Labor Day weekend connecting additional sites and everything. They did it almost, with no notice whatsoever, but they did it, and they did it in record time. We don't quite have 1,000, but we're going to go past 1,000, but we've got 848 sites that are connected right now. Great work, people. And so really and truly, that's all I have. I know somebody's going to bring up, that we had a out-of-state baseball thing going on in Kanawha County over the weekend. I sent, when it came to my attention, Sherry Young, Dr. Amjad, and Alan McVeigh and Secretary Crouch all went there, visited it, checked it out, looked at the people, looked how they were spaced out and everything else. To be perfectly honest, their report came back to me that things weren't all that bad, but I would just encourage everyone to just know this. From the standpoint of a out-of-state sporting event like that, I don't know if we should be doing that. I mean, really and truly, that call, I guess, came from the Kanawha County officials and everything, and they made the call. I surely didn't know anything about it until I heard a complaint, that people were down there. So I sent the Kanawha County health official, I sent Secretary Crouch and Alan McVeigh. They all went and checked it out and called back and said they felt like it was okay when they were there. But I'd say this, from the standpoint of us using good judgment, especially in Kanawha County, when we knew we were going to probably end up orange and maybe not be able to, in fact, not end up being able to go back to school. The optics for that is terrible, and I don't know that we ought to be doing that. That doesn't make a bit of sense in the world to me. But not my call, but we went down and checked it out, and we're going to try to stay on top of everything and keep doing the best job that can be done. Thank y'all.
All right, thank you, Governor. Let's now go first to Clayton Burch, our West Virginia Superintendent of Schools.
Thank you, Governor. So 179 days, as the Governor said, since our children were in school, and we celebrated today 46 counties that were able to open up in person. As a matter of fact, I myself left just a little bit early to follow that first of the year bus run down Route 60 from my house. And I wanted to see just how different it was. And watching the children get on with their mask, and knowing that our bus drivers have been preparing, as well as our cafeteria workers, all service personnel, teachers, to make this day happen. We've said from the beginning, our children need to be in school. Nobody argues that point. They really do need these teachers, and our parents have been very, very vocal about wanting to be in person. So again, 46 out of 55 counties opening up in person today. Over the weekend, as the Governor said about Kids Connect, they were there all weekend long, working the entire holiday weekend. My staff was there entering and registration for virtual school. We did some interviews yesterday to talk about just about what opening school looks like. Superintendents have been texting me throughout the day about how it's going. I think they're all very, very excited to have children back in school finally. So the other thing it was nice to see is that here, and I'll use an example in Kanawha County, that we said that meals would be served and delivered regardless of the remote. So if you're in person, you're virtual, and in the 9 counties that couldn't start in person, knowing that meals are being delivered to those children was very, very important to us. So I was glad to hear some positive news that we saw buses running, delivering meals. So proud of them. We also know that even though I'm celebrating today, we wanted the children to be back in my own county where my own children attend. I know they were disappointed they wanted to be in school. They're starting remote this week, and the youngest was a little disappointed, and I did remind him, as he and his brothers go out into the public, that they actually play a role in getting back in school. Wear your mask. Get the numbers down so your community is safe so these schools can open. That's been my message all weekend long. I also want to send out a thank you, though, to a few superintendents out there over the weekend. And this thank you is not only to Jeff Crook in Brooke County, Don Spence in Mingo County, Jeff Kelly in Lincoln County, and Tom Williams here in Kanawha County. These superintendents worked over the weekend with their local health department, and Dr. Amjad. She worked all weekend long to assist these superintendents in making decisions about individual schools, following the protocol if somebody tests positive, doing the contact tracing, quarantining those that need, and really making a decision if it impacted the school to where it wasn't safe to open. So those superintendents did exactly what we hoped would happen, working hand in hand with their local health department and having Dr. Amjad there as our safety net to facilitate that just worked out excellent. So that is a very, very special thank you to Dr. Amjad. Leading up this week, I'll end with, I know we'll be looking at the Saturday map again, and I am getting parents that will ask me, you know, it seems like a surprise to wait till Saturday, and again, please, I encourage everybody, look at the DHHR's County Alert System. It's posted daily. I know that we have an expert panel that's going to review that Friday and Saturday. Just as the Governor said, they did a great job doing that for us this week to get everything in order to post. But we definitely want everybody trending in the right direction. So encourage you to look at that map and thank DHHR and the expert panel that the Governor led to help us get that on time this week, and it did go very, very well. So thank you.
Superintendent Burch, thank you. Thank you so much for all that you guys in all of the areas that you work with, all that you've done. I mean, you've really, everybody has tried so hard to pull this off. Now, I want to just say this, you know, we have a few people that are outside and they were unhappy about, you know, the fact that their county, whether it was Kanawha or Putman or whatever, was not able to go back today because the way we outlined and set this whole thing up was just this. Anybody that was in the orange or the red, you know, we didn't want them to just start right back and potentially compound an issue that was already existing. Now, Everyone needs to know one thing and one thing loud and clear. I want our kids back in school. I want our kids back in school really bad. And I am trying with all in me to achieve just exactly that. But at the same time, we have to follow the science, and we have to follow the mathematics and everything. We don't want to do something and then look back and say it terribly compounded the issue. Now, I am so hopeful that these counties, that their situations will very quickly get down into the yellow and the green, and absolutely then we can go on and move forward in a really good and safe and prudent way. Nobody wants this more than me. I mean, for crying out loud, the greatest thing that could possibly happen is we all be back in teaching our kids and our kids learning in school, and these incidences we have are not just sprouting up all over the place. Now, we've all got to know this. We've all got to know this. I have said this over and over. This disease and this killer is still right with us. We do not have a vaccine yet, and nobody really knows for sure when we're going to have that. Now, we can make one or two decisions. We can either all go to the house and batten down the hatches, and it'll still get some of us. We can either do that, or we can find a way as best we can to manage the risk and go on about our lives. Now, our kids need to have the opportunity to be back in school, as our parents need to have the choice as to whether or not you want your kid back in school. So with all that being said, we got to know there are going to be some level of outbreaks, and we're going to have to address that. You know, whether it be whatever school it may be, that we've got a class that we need to separate or something like that, we've all got to know we've got to deal with that. That's all there is to it. But nobody on this end, whether it be Superintendent Burch or Jim Justice, wants anything more than all of our kids and all of our parents being able to send their kids or have the choice to send their kids to school. We're doing everything we possibly can. But I can tell you this, that if we stay red or we stay orange, I don't know how we can possibly do that and do that safely. And I do not know how we can do it from the standpoint of being on an athletic field and playing competition across county lines and everything else. I don't know how we can be doing that and playing competition and do it safely. So we've got a system in place to the betterment of all those within the county. Please, whether you're a child in school or whether you're absolutely an adult on a practice field with kids that are practicing, or whether you're going out and you're going into a store, Walmart, or wherever it may be, wear your mask. Wear your mask. There are those that are out there that says, well, that's our right. We don't have to wear a mask and everything. Well, it is also all of our right. It is also all of our right that we are protected from one another, passing this dreaded disease right on to each other. 250 West Virginians dead. Approaching 200,000 Americans dead. Serious stuff. Everyone is doing all that they can possibly do, but absolutely, you know, to be demonstrating that I, you know, am and holding them back from being in school, that's ridiculous. At the end of the day, I want them in school so bad it's unbelievable. And but from the standpoint of our color codes and everything else, I think we've got a great system in place, and that's the system we're going to go with. Thank you.